The Northland is an amazing place, and we're hitting the road to show off your town. Today, the spotlight's on the Grand Rapids area. Your town starts now.
Welcome to Lake Country. We've taken our show on the road again for the third trip in our Your Town Summer Series.
Yeah, today we're broadcasting from the beautiful Grand Rapids area in Itasca County, showing you the many things there are to offer in this neck of the woods. Good evening, I'm Laura Lee.
And I'm Dan Wolf. Thank you so much for joining us for this special broadcast. We are live in Itasca County, a truly special, beautiful place.
Oh my God, and it's a gorgeous day. We've seen families trickle in as they get ready to kickstart the weekend in this beautiful lodge. So happy to be with you tonight here at this beautiful resort. Yeah,
we're going to have a lot of fun here in this next half hour. We're doing all kinds of different activities, highlighting what there is to do in this Grand Rapids area. Where we are right now is special. This is the Sugar Lake Lodge, a family-run business in this area for generations now, located on the east end of Sugar Lake. And a big thanks at the folks to Sugar Lake Lodge for hosting us here.
Absolutely. This is gorgeous. But first, we want to give you a little introduction to the Grand Rapids area in case you're not familiar with it. The city of Grand Rapids itself is right on the Mississippi River, which helped it become a major logging town. That industry allowed employers like the Blandin Paper Mill to open up in 1902. Over time, businesses like that helped the area grow.
11,000 people now call Grand Rapids home. That's a 42% jump from 2000 census data. And while Grand Rapids and the surrounding communities are home to many, its beautiful landscape and lakes are also a vacation destination for thousands of people every single year.
And the yellow brick road just so happens to run along Pokegama Avenue. Founded in 1975, the Judy Garland Museum in Grand Rapids is home to a collection of items from The Wizard of Oz, including the original carriage featured in the movie.
On the grounds, you'll also find Judy's 1920s restored home and the Children's Discovery Museum. We're told on average, 25,000 people visit the museum every single year.
And we have so much more to cover for this live shot here in Grand Rapids, including an interview with the manager of Sugar Lake Lodge, as well as taking a unique a look into a very unique pastry here in the Northland.
Yeah, it's going to be good. We're trying some pasties on live TV that were made nearby in just a little bit. We're going to get to all that in a moment, but we do want to talk about today's news and the top stories. And for that, we throw it back to the studio and Ryan Half.
Thank you, Dan and Laura. Yeah, the Minnesota Pollution Control Agency has issued an air quality alert for the majority of Minnesotans, covering both today and tomorrow. Here's a look at our air quality forecast from today. The areas in orange here are unhealthy for sensitive groups. Experts say there are still a lot of unknowns that scientists are tackling when it comes to this unhealthy air. They do advise everyone should limit time outdoors when that air quality is this poor. Now, our poor air quality is due to hundreds of wildfires raging in parts of Canada's Northwest Territories. Officials there are calling it a crisis situation. They have issued evacuation orders and declared a state of emergency as the blazes threaten the capital city of Yellowknife. There are more than 230 active fires, so the winds will bring more smoke into our area both today and tomorrow. In other news, here in Duluth, families were learning all about public safety down at Bayfront today. The Duluth Police Department held their 14th annual Kids, Cops, and Cars event. It brings the community and public safety workers together to form a relationship and enjoy some sweet treats. This gives public safety officials the chance to show their cars, gear, ambulances, and canines. Of course, those canine officers got treats too. Speaking of treats, our team is enjoying quite the evening in Cohasset and the Grand Rapids area. Let's welcome in meteorologist Dave Anderson. Dave, how are you enjoying your time there tonight?
I feel like Howard Cosell here, giving the play-by-play for a vigorous game of bags featuring Haley from Hibbing and Mason and Riley from New Prague. They are going up a couple of familiar guys, Rob something or another from New York City and Hunter Gatherer from Brimson. Yeah, that's Hunter and Rob. They're having a great time. Everyone's having a great time today because the weather is really nice. So let's go to the current conditions now and take a look at what we've got going on in the Twin Ports. And current temps are running about 68 to 73. Not too bad at all. Eyeing up the bigger picture here, we do have temperatures as cool as 62 in Watersmeet, a little chillier in Grand Marais at 63, but it's 72 down towards Moose Lake. Yesterday's heat has gone away, but now, of course, we've traded that for another set of air quality warnings. Breathing may not be so easy for folks with troubles in Minnesota through Friday at 11 p.m. and Monday at 6 a.m. for a good chunk of the rest of the region, especially towards Wisconsin. Tonight's night planner, no precip, low temp around 50. Precip is getting hard to come by again. I'll talk about when we might get a taste coming up in just a bit.
You know, it was painful enough to have Hunter outfish me on live TV, and then he makes a bag on live TV. Like, come on.
He's just having so much fun out there. They all are. We all are.
Just not fair. He and I will have a word later. In the meantime, Itasca County is rich in history, recreation, and the arts. Attached to Grand Rapids High School is the Rife Performing Center.
That's right. It features live music, theater, and dance year-round. The center got a $12 million expansion in 2016. The Wilcox Theater, which seats 700, is bustling this time of the year with youngsters practicing for their summer production programs, which are open to people from all over.
Can anyone be a part? Does it have to be Grand Rapids kiddos? Or?
Anywhere.
Okay.
Anybody that wants to come, they come and audition for parts, and then most of the plays are grades 3 through 12.
The Rife also has a scene shop and a dance wing equipped with studios and teachers. The expansion added a makeup area, dressing rooms, and all of the costumes you could possibly imagine. Well, we know this Grand Rapids area is nestled in a gorgeous location up in the Northland with beautiful lakes, which makes this a very attractive vacation spot for families. And we're so excited to be here at one of the most popular resorts in Grand Rapids, on Sugar Lake. And joining me now is the manager of Sugar Lake Lodge, Abby Oxborough.
Yep.
You have a beautiful resort here.
Thank you.
There is a rich history with the resort here. It's family owned and operated for many, many centuries. Can you describe what it was like just growing up and what it means to have it in the business, in the family for so long?
Absolutely. It's easily one of the best childhoods anyone could ever have. This was my entire backyard, and I'm ecstatic to let my son grow up the way that I did. My parents bought and built this and made it their own, and they've always been in the hospitality industry. We're part of the Rutger family, so it goes back to, you know, hundreds of years ago. It's in our blood, so it is really exciting to have our family here and to keep it in the family.
And the fact that it's family owned, how do you think that translates to your visitors and guests when they come here? The fact that you guys have this business, how has that been your model kind of going?
Yeah, I think it's everything. People that have been coming for generations and their families that are coming, we've gotten to know them so well that it's really become our family, and it's fun to watch their kids grow and for them to know our kids too. So it's really become really personal, and we love it.
And you know, there's a lot to offer here. We see tons of families as they're arriving here go out on the boats and pontoons. That's pretty special. You guys offer those free to all of your guests here.
Yeah, all of the kayaks, canoes, all of that stuff, all included. We believe in more of like a quality matters situation. Not a lot of a nickel and diming here. That's kind of, we don't love to see that, so we try to practice what we preach.
That's amazing. And the staff you have here, everyone seems so happy, so excited to be to work every day. How do you create that kind of environment and culture for your visitors and your staff?
Honestly, I think it's treating people with respect and giving them the autonomy to do the things that they like to do, and we like to have fun. That's what it's about. We throw them in the lake whenever we get the chance, so it's perfect.
Well, it's a beautiful location right on the lake here. Thank you again for hosting us.
Of course. Thanks for coming.
Thank you. Still to come, we meet the woman behind some of the best food and comedy in Grand Rapids. Well, no matter where you are in the country, the very best food oftentimes is typically found in a hole in the wall, and that is the case right here in Grand Rapids.
That's right. At a place called Pasties Plus, there are a couple of women baking up thousands of those special Mind Country meat-filled pastries. No advertising, no bells and whistles, just really good pasties. Right off Highway 2. It's an old building, half barber shop, half pasty shop. Walking into Pasties Plus is a trip back in time, filled with old-time prices, ancient equipment, great smells, and lots of laughter. Ruth Pedley is part chef, part comedian.
Hopefully it'll be fabulous. If it's not, you don't tell anybody.
For 26 years, she's been cracking jokes and packing pastries, opening the shop with her dad in 1997.
He died 3 years later, so I just keep making them.
Using her grandmother's original recipe, she served more than 1 million pasties over the years, each one made from scratch.
I'm rolling the dough. We refrigerate it overnight, then we milk the edges, and she'll come along and fill them, and I'll come behind her and roll them. Okay, now I'm rolling. And then we trim the edges so people don't have to pay for a lot of excess dough. Yep. Oven full.
She and her staff are a well-oiled machine.
Yeah, we're little, but we're efficient.
And in no time, I got to try one.
So I was told the way to go about this is to just cut into it and, quote, go to town. So look at that. You can see the beauty in there. Got meat, potatoes, all that, and then phenomenal.
A delicious recipe brought to the country by her grandparents' generation, who helped pasties explode in popularity among miners on the range and the UP.
My grandpa was a copper miner. Right off the boat from Finland, it was a nice root vegetable in a crust, and the guys could eat it with their hands, you know, any time of day once it's cooked, and then they could just throw the crust away.
I didn't throw any of my pasty away, and if you want your own, you won't be able to place an order online due to Ruth's refusal to get with the times.
Okay, I could care less about the technology.
An old school business owner sticking to what she knows, pasties and personality.
I just want people to like the pasties so they keep coming in, you know, because it pays my bills. Plus, they're good.
And obviously, I had to get some.
Of course, I love Ruth and her boisterous laugh.
I know.
Oh, what a sweetheart.
Her laugh made the story, but so do the pasties.
Yes, they do. So we're trying the beef and potato one.
Yep, this is rutabaga, beef, potato, some carrots in here, I believe.
I gotta get everything.
Yeah. It's very good.
It's so good.
And honestly, I mean, I know ketchup or gravy is part of the tradition to have with it. But these are good because they're made, you know, they're made fresh.
And she said that they throw away the crust. Why would they do that?
Why
That's
would
like the
anyone
best
throw
part.
any part of this heavenly thing away?
Well
That's my question. People were filing in and out of there constantly while we were there. They're busy. They either have loved going there forever or they heard from someone that
so
they're
good.
amazing pasties and they had to try them for
I love it. Keep it
themselves.
simple. If it's a winter like this, yeah, it's going to always sell. So
For
good.
sure. If you're in the Grand Rapids area, check it out. Hey, still to come, we go behind the scenes to see the ins and outs of running a resort in Lake Country by catching up with the Christoffersons over on Lake Pekegama.
Back to 15.
It's always a wonderful time being here in the Cohasset and Grand Rapids area. I've got a personal reason, of course. Back when I got married in 1988 as a part-time cameraman on the Northern News Now crew, all we could afford was a one-night honeymoon in Grand Rapids at the Holiday Inn. We didn't have fun games like bags here to play, and here we've got, it seems like, the Olympics going on as Hunter and Haley from the station take on a pair of brothers from New Prague, Minnesota, and it's pretty even. It was within 2 points last time I heard, and the weather, of course, is beautiful for activities like that. Let's get a look at the current conditions for our region, and we're going to find temperatures that are in the 60s and 70s, and for a lot of us, that's picture perfect. Yesterday, we were in the 80s. That helped fuel some fairly big storms, especially on the south shore of Lake Superior. Some decent rain fell there, and that's exactly what we need to wash away the sky is on one hand, because we've got air quality warnings going on here till Friday at about 11 p.m. and air quality warning going on Monday until 6 o'clock in the morning for places like Wisconsin. So that trouble with Canadian wildland fire is back. Air quality forecast is telling us it's not going to pick up too quickly. Tomorrow for Minnesota, for example, it's going to be unhealthy for sensitive groups. That's the orange. Up in Lake and Cook counties, a little bit better there. Moderate problems. Good luck to everybody while we deal with this yet again. And we're still dealing with dry conditions, abnormally dry up near the Canadian border, to moderate drought for a lot of the Arrowhead, to severe and extreme drought for northern Wisconsin, Carleton County, Pine County, even parts of Gogebic County. We need more rain, and this week I don't think we're going to get it. We've got high pressure right now keeping the sky clear and keeping a low pressure system up to the north, so I don't think that one's going to grace us with any precipitation. Not today, not Saturday, not Friday, not even Sunday, as fresh high pressure takes over then. So high and dry for the week ahead. And it is going to get warm again. On Friday, we're looking for high temps to start to warm back up towards upper 70s, 80. And we get into Saturday and it starts to push into the mid to upper 80s again. But that may be the only day it stays that warm, because the 7-day forecast shows things stepping back already as early as Sunday. So for Friday, partly cloudy and 77. Saturday, mostly sunny and 87, perhaps humid too, but dry. Sunday back into the 70s. Monday's really our own chance for rain. We're eyeing up a 20% shot. Then Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, riding about 77 to 80 degrees, which is pretty good for this time of year because August is waning, September is coming. Hopefully nobody's complaining as the summer lingers just a little bit longer before we delve back into fall.
All right, very good. We're enjoying this last bit of summer here at Sugar Lake Lodge. Thank you, Dave.
No one's complaining.
No one's complaining at all. And there's so many ways to enjoy lake life here in the Grand Rapids area, from private cabins to big operations to quaint family-owned resorts.
That's right, but running a business like that with a small staff is no easy task. Northern News Now's Rob Coles introduces us to a Minnesotan who's become a resort owner at a time in life when many choose to kick back and relax.
Endless time at the lake. It's a retirement dream come true.
Winding down my career, I'm working with a plumbing, heating, sewer, water, well wholesaler. I head up their sewer, water, and well segment, and I've been doing that for the last 35 years.
But for Kirk Christofferson, his golden years on the water may be busy.
The water clarity on this chain is just incredible.
4 years ago, he and his wife started looking to buy a large house on Pekegama Lake.
So we wanted to be on a bigger lake with a few more activities, sand beach for the grandkids, things like that.
They fell in love with the property and took the plunge. But it wasn't just a house.
And at the time, I didn't realize I was going to end up running a resort. I actually have fallen in love with it.
Christofferson is now the proud owner of the Pekegama Lake Resort. The gig has its perks. Shoes seem to be optional, and you can't beat the view.
We got the beautiful bay here. We got Mishawaka over there. Can't miss Mishawaka.
But keeping the resort's 4-bedroom lodge and cabins guest ready is no easy feat. Thankfully, he's got a dedicated co-owning staff.
I am generally maintenance and yard keeping. My wife and daughter are housekeeping.
Also known as the Christofferson family.
But every Saturday is our changeover day, so those days I am cleaning. I clean all 3 units in the morning, and then we have check back in at 3, and that's my dog, Nellie.
Nellie's work responsibilities are less defined.
She runs around and watches for squirrels. The rest of the time, if I'm not cleaning, I'm usually helping getting boats out.
An extremely important job because, after all, for most guests, a trip to the Pekegama Lake Resort isn't about the cabins at all. It's about spending time on the water.
The appeal to staying at the resort?
Yeah.
The lake.
Marty Spitzner has been vacationing in the area for decades from Colorado.
My wife is from here. She grew up here, and we've been coming back every year for 40 years.
He's been staying at the resort since before the Christoffersons bought it, a tradition he plans to continue.
When we're leaving here this year, we'll book for next year.
I mean, this is 1955 vintage.
And in the coming years, the Spitzners may have even more room options. Christofferson has purchased 6 more cabins on the lakes with hopes to renovate and expand the operation.
It's gorgeous.
Picking up speed at a time in life when many slow down.
Been working long and hard hours all my life. Didn't really want to just go to a complete shutdown. Knew that I would have to have something else to do to keep me busy.
An active retirement on a relaxing Minnesota lakeshore. In Grand Rapids, Rob Coles, Northern News Now.
Yeah, the lakes up here are stunning. And the Pokegama Lake Resort is open all year long. In addition to lake-based activities, the Christoffersons say it's situated close to golf courses, ATV, and snowmobile trails.
There's a lot to do.
Yeah, absolutely. So much to do. We have more information about that at northernnewsnow.com.
And after the break, we're going to tell you about an exciting race coming up in the area and how you can register to run in it.
Well, if you want to get out and explore the Itasca County area on foot, there's a great chance to do so coming up.
Yeah, the Rapids Half Marathon and 5K is happening Saturday, August 26th. The races start and end in Cohasset that morning, and the half marathon course also takes runners through Grand Rapids. Registration is still open. We have more details on our website. What do you two think? Should we go in, get some dinner, and then head out on the lake for some evening fishing?
I know. I think everyone wants to be out on the water. It's a gorgeous night.
Yeah.
Well, I should be out training for that half marathon.